of any society is how it treats its women and girls. It's women and girls. We create the smart, powerful, creative, accomplished young women. We can fight. I'm here because of you. I'm here because girls like you inspire me. Many of these girls have faced unthinkable obstacles just to attend school. Of any society is how it treats its women and girls. Won't stand still. Your story is my story. Your story is my story.
Buckle up, buttercups. It's another episode of Surly Voices on WMNF Tampa 88.5. My name is Liz. I am one of your hosts. Joining me on Zoom is Maria, another host.
Hey, Liz.
How are you, Maria?
I'm doing. You hear a little bit of head cold there.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I was I had to go out of town over the weekend, and just the change in scenery is enough to knock your respiratory system out of balance, it seems. And for those of you looking for Donna, unfortunately, I don't think she's going to be with us this morning. She is getting over the flu up in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she's also having to change her lodging this morning. So, unfortunately, we're not going to have Donna with us, but we will do the best we can to
we'll be as surly as we can.
Keep you guys entertained. If you want to join the conversation, it's 813-239-9663, or you can email to dj@wmnf.org. So, Maria, what's on the menu today?
I think we can't help but talk about Iran, what's going on. A couple of things that I've been finding interesting because I do try to pursue different news outlets, if you will.
Yes.
And I have come to the conclusion that we in the United States have been under a news embargo.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That we're not being told what's really happening because it's not a glorified rah-rah pep rally for the United States.
Right.
And so I find the fact that we cannot even rely on our news disappointing, but not surprising.
Yes.
So I'd like to talk about that a little bit. And then let's talk about like what's actually going on in Iran. Not just Iran, but in that entire region. It seems to me that Iran is not going to, before this happened, they were willing to come to the table and give these diabolical people whatever it is that they want. That is off the table.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean,
it is completely off the table now.
The first major strike they make is against a school with a bunch of young girls in it. And so it's like, and the Iranian spokespeople are being, not cheeky, but they are kind of being cheeky, but they're calling it the Epstein War, and that's the Epstein bombs. They're calling it like it is, and Trump is not liking that. And Trump is apparently, if you don't look at any American media, and I'm throwing Fox into that category, even though they're not very much newsy. It's oh yeah, we're working toward a ceasefire and all that kind of stuff. No, Iran is not having it, and I don't blame them. It's like here they were sitting there doing nothing pretty much except what they do on a daily basis, and Trump decides to throw our lot in with Israel, and here we are. Now, Israel's Iron Dome is apparently done and out. So the people in Israel are not getting warnings about bombs.
What's interesting about that, though, is that our news won't tell you that.
Exactly.
Right? What you'll see when you watch the news is a bomb hits a target in Israel, right? They're relying on you to not be a critical thinker, to say, well, what happened to the Iron Dome? They're not going to explain anything about their being compromised to us as people, as an American people. That's like those things are just out the window, right?
Right.
You, if you're interested, you have to take the extra step to say, oh, it hit its target. What happened to the Iron Dome?
Right.
Right, because they're not telling you. Right. That's what I find interesting about like the contrast between watching American news outlets and then other news outlets.
Right. You go to the BBC, you go to Al Jazeera, and you see more of what's going on. And it's like, okay, what happened to journalism in the United States? Why aren't the news outlets telling us the truth about this war that we have no business being in to start with?
And the fact that we're spending $1 billion a day.
A day. Yes.
A day. And they're matching us with $20,000 drones.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we could do this all day.
Right.
Right? $20,000 drone. Let's play.
Yeah. And being quite effective at it. I mean, I don't know apparently what they thought was going to happen was they were just going to roll over Iran like they did Palestine. But this is an entirely different set of circumstances here. And then meanwhile, you got Pete Hegseth spending $93.4 billion in September on stuff such as lobster and cracked crab and ribeyes.
Where's Doge when you need him?
Right. Yeah, well, that's a whole nother story. Now, all of a sudden, is coming to light. Everything that we said at the very beginning, these folks misused the data that they collected. They fired too many people, and now we have people in vital positions who the positions are empty because Doge got rid of the people that ran the stuff. So it's like, I don't know what it's going to take to wake people up. But people should be up in arms about all of this. And Trump, who said, he's the peace president, no foreign wars, he's not even a whole year into his second term yet, and here we are. It's like, well, no, I guess he is a year in now. I'm thinking back. We're in March. March came quickly. But I am very glad that daylight saving time is here because all the events of the day plus the seasonal affective disorder, and it was getting to be a bit too much. So
the sunshine is here.
The sunshine is here, yes. But you look at, and it's interesting because I'm always going to stories and going to the comments because that's where the MAGAs come and make comments and stuff. And instead of being upset that their dear leader has gotten them into a war he said he wouldn't get us into, they're totally supporting him. And it's like, wait,
So it's not even 30% now. Like
yeah,
that's it for him.
yeah.
That's it
So
for him.
it's like, okay, so even so the and I haven't seen like mass defections from MAGA from all of this, but
Oh, I have.
you
I
have?
have. Yeah.
Okay. Tell
In
us.
fact, I don't know if you saw this news story, but one of the networks came to Florida, of course, and they talked to a bunch of MAGA guys at the gas station.
Ah,
And the first guy they talked to says, I miss my Uncle Joe.
I saw that. Yes, I did see
I
that
miss
last
my
night.
Uncle Joe. He goes, I might not have much back then, but I was balling. I had money in my pocket. Well, funny how that works.
Right, exactly. And so
Funny how that works.
it's like, all right, yeah. So things could have been, it's unbelievable to me that Congress still is sitting on its hands, pretty much doing nothing. Pennsatucky Shrek still voting with Republicans on anything that comes up. And now Trump's going to go back and try to do tariffs again in a way that the Supreme Court won't strike down. So yeah, let's see what happens. One of our listeners has a message that says, "So what happened to the Iron Dome?"
So, Iran is a very sophisticated country. I think we talked a little bit about that last week. Very sophisticated country. And they have been hacking technologically, they have been hacking systems.
Mm-hmm.
And the Iron Dome was hacked by Iranians so that it cannot identify incoming.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
They're a little bit more sophisticated than people think. They're an incredibly sophisticated country with the vast majority of their population like under 40 and college educated.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And they're not just going to they're not going to be brutes, like physical brutes to beat you.
Right.
They're going to be very sophisticated about it, and they have been.
Mm-hmm. And so yeah, it's amazing to me. I mean, I don't know what the primary objective was in starting this war, because it's never.
Oh, come on!
Oil.
But Bibi's wanted to do this for 45 years.
Right. There you go. And
he wanted to do this for 45 years, and he finally has an ambassador to Israel who is leading with his Christian nationalism
mm-hmm.
to pretend that this is really a thing.
Right. And now you're seeing people try to put through legislation to outlaw Sharia in the United States.
In Florida.
In Florida, yes. Well, United States 1, Florida 2. Nobody is using Sharia.
But there's another layer to it in Florida. There's 2 layers to it in Florida. So one got struck down by the Supreme Court here in Florida. Was an executive order by Ron DeSantis, where he said that he gets to name whatever group is a terrorist organization.
Right.
Right. And but it got struck down. Like, you cannot violate people's First Amendment rights.
Mm-hmm.
But he has matching legislation in the state. It's on the calendar. It hasn't passed yet. And it might not. It'll be something they take up next session, perhaps. Is legislation that came out of the Senate. That I read an article yesterday that he actually wrote the bill, which is that he gets to appoint, not an elected body, but he gets to appoint a panel of people who will determine what are terrorist organizations. right?
Oh,
And he wants to go after CARE. He wants to go after groups that support their communities. You know, he's not going after Charlie Kirk's group,
right.
TPUSA.
Or the
He's
Proud
not going
Boys. Yeah.
after Christian nationalist groups. He wants to be able to decide, pick the people who are on this panel, and then go after and shut down organizations that support their community.
And so, yeah, I guess everybody's going to be outlaws by the time Florida comes back around. CARE has been fighting in court about his attacks on that organization. And CARE, for those of you who don't know, it supports the Islamic community and does great work. Even I know Donna had once said that people who needed low-income health care can go to one of the CARE clinics. It doesn't matter if you're Islamic or not. So there we are. It's like, okay, you're all this over trying to keep our minds off the Epstein files, which, by the way, dropped another huge bomb because during the last document drop, some sharp-eyed folks noticed that there were documents missing from that production. And so turns out those documents have to do with Trump, specifically about a 13-year-old sexual assault victim who was interviewed by the FBI 4 times and also filed a lawsuit. And so it's like, okay, this is not getting the attention it needs because our attention is being pulled away to Iran. How do we even think about getting the troops out of Iran now? Because it's there have been 7 reported casualties. I'm sure that's only the tip of the iceberg because, again, can't trust American news to tell us the real story because they're all too afraid of Trump. It's mind-boggling.
I just, honestly, I got to give it to Thomas Massie for standing up to him.
Absolutely. And he seems to be the only one. Although, in whispers in the court, in the halls of Congress, they say, oh, this is terrible. Yeah, but they're not doing anything. We are in a war we had no business being in, and doesn't look like it's going to be, shades of Vietnam, right? Because we didn't have any business there either. And yet, American sons and daughters are being asked to put their lives on the line for a place they never should be in the first place. Yet, Trump's family doesn't do military service.
Yep. And they ought to.
Yeah. It's
ought to.
Wild. Okay, let's see. Da-da-da. Somebody sent us a meme that is going to take me some time to study. Somebody just says, thank you. Somebody says, a recent Harris poll showed that 57% of Americans are against teaching Arabic numerals in public schools. You can't make this up. Bob, West Melbourne. Yeah, because once again, we are living the very script of idiocracy right on out, except Trump isn't like a super buff weightlifter guy or anything. He's just, Trump. And what people find attractive or, attractive or compelling about Trump, I don't have any idea. Somebody said it's like Jim Jones, except Trump's charging for the Kool-Aid, which is a pretty apt description. So yeah, no quick exit here. Iran is not lying down and saying, oh, poor us. You come and take our land and turn it into resorts, Mr. Trump. No, Iran is like, you want it? Okay, here it is. Here it is.
Did you see the fight, the tanker run last week?
No.
U.S. whatever that is, like where the planes land on, the boat where the planes land on.
Oh, the aircraft carrier.
Aircraft carrier. They were heading. They were in the Gulf, and the Iran shot a warning shot at them because they have these. It was a warning shot because they have these. I guess they call ballistic missiles. And they discovered that Iran has these ballistic missiles that could just destroy that aircraft carrier.
Wow.
And so they hightailed it out of there.
And I saw last night Iran is sending word into Israel, y'all better leave because we're about to break out the heavy artillery. And now because the Iron Dome is compromised, you can't, there's no warning sirens or anything like that. So yeah, Iran's like, okay.
But they said, I forget what they said, in the past when, like in Vietnam War and other wars, we would leaflet a place, like drop pieces of paper and tell people it's time to go. What Iran did, and this is what I mean about the technology, what Iran did was send everyone a text message.
Yep.
And say, you got to go. Because we're getting ready to hit you.
So let's see if they heed the warning. You are listening to Surly Voices on WMNF Tampa 88.5. You can give us a call at 813-239-9663, or you can email to dj@wmnf.com. And let's see, we got some more. Let's see. I don't even know what this is supposed to be.
We love those.
All right, DeMarco. This is a lot of stuff to read on the fly, so I'm gonna defer to that one as well. We have a text message that says, "You ladies are how I get my news." Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, we actually sit up there like a bunch of news geeks and find articles and share them amongst ourselves, and it's like you cannot believe anything, any press releases from the Trump administration because, I mean, just look at the propaganda that they're putting out. They put out a thing about RFK the other day, and like pictures of him as a child with his dad, and just, I mean, horrible propaganda. And it's like, this is who is in charge of your country. And it's like, of your health. And it's like, no. I think RFK the first would have been the first to say that his son is in need of help and not fit for being in charge of the country's health. Because, man, he has got some wild ideas. Autism caused by Tylenol, it gets better from there, So, so what do you think is going to happen next, Maria?
I don't think that this is over in 4 weeks.
No.
I know. I have this feeling that Trump wants out now.
Oh, yeah. Trump would love to be out now.
That he knows that it's not going to end well for him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to figure out a way. He knows he can't claim victory, but he could say it, right? And when would be a good time to say it, right? But I don't know that I think that it does. I think it does take its course for the 4 months that he said. I'm sorry, for the 4 weeks that he says. But I don't know how much longer beyond that because he politically he can't ride it through.
Right.
Politically, it's impossible.
And I mean, he never got congressional approval to do any of this.
Yeah, but these tools don't care.
That's true.
They've decided that they're just going to let it happen, right? But if and when we have midterm elections, it is going to be a reckoning.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Democrat that's in a runoff for Marjorie Taylor Greene's special election seat, right? There's that. We've had some unlikely victories from a lot of these people. So I think it'll be interesting. I think some of these primary opponents are going to be a factor. I don't think people are with the BS anymore.
Well,
you know what I mean?
And the issue I see coming is, yes, if we have midterm elections, which is not by any means a guarantee, because that seems to be a target of this regime. But if we have midterm elections, it's going to be a blowout for the Democrats, which is going to be good and bad because, number one, once the Democratic Party and the DNC in particular is who I'm talking about, they're going to see this happen and they're going to be like, see, we're doing everything great, when they are the ones who got us into this situation.
I think that there's going to be there's going to be a demand from the people. This is the revolution may not be televised, but it is going to happen at the voting booth. Mm-hmm. I think that there are going to be enough people that quite frankly, have expressed their frustration with Democrats as well, mm-hmm. that you are going to have a whole crop of new Dems that are just tired of the old ones.
Right.
It's not just Democrat, the establishment Democrats and the Republicans almost have a devil's bargain. Well, they do have a devil's bargain. They do
have a devil's bargain, yeah.
And I think people see it now. And I don't think that we are in a very untenable situation. And as much as establishment Democrats want to, quote unquote, go back to normal, mm-hmm. the people are like, there is no normal.
There's no normal. No.
There's no normal. We're not doing this again with you guys. Right? Mm-hmm. No more strongly worded letters. No more, what do you want me to do? According to Hakeem Jeffries. I don't think there's any of that anymore.
Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer are the most worthless leaders to have. And it's like, how did these guys even get into these positions? Of course,
the problem is that Chucky isn't up for re-election for another 2 years.
Well,
Hakeem is up, and Hakeem has a primary challenger.
Well,
right?
Yeah, he better get used to not being in political life anymore then, because he has just been absolutely useless. I mean, can anybody out there name one good thing that Hakeem Jeffries has done? One. That's all.
David Hogg did this interview, I want to say it was last week. And he was asked, should these two people go? And he was like, absolutely, they should go. He goes, but Hakeem Jeffries has never been in a leadership position, meaning that he's never been Speaker of the House, right? He's led the minority, but he doesn't do that well. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I just would have a hard time if the Democrats do take the Congress I would have a hard time voting for him for speaker.
Oh,
I
I would.
really would.
Yeah. There's no way I would vote for him as speaker. No way. I mean, because he has proved that he is totally ineffective. Here's a text message. It says Don Jr. wanted to join the military as a young man, and Donald Sr. threatened to disown him. That's who our commander-in-chief is. So if that's accurate, and I don't doubt that it is, because I've never, they are very much, the whole family, opposed to military service. That's for, as in Trump's words, suckers and losers. Or is that only if they get killed?
Well, you're putting yourself out there, though.
Yeah. So, all right. So, yeah, that is a thing. Well, if you want to give us a call, 813-239-9663, or you can email to dj@wmnf.org. Trump's plan to, as far as Iran goes, was he wanted to install the Shah of Iran's son,
Reza.
Reza. And it's not Reza from the Shahs of Sunset either. It's Reza.
I would like Reza from the Shahs of Sunset, though.
Yeah, that would be interesting, actually. Yeah. And, but yeah, Reza Pahlavi was Trump's candidate to get reinstalled, but Trump is not going to be getting the opportunity to take over this country.
He doesn't get to decide. That's the thing that drives me crazy. It's like he doesn't get to decide who other people's leaders are.
Yeah, but he's used to nobody telling him no. Nobody tells Trump no. And
can I make a petty Patti LaBelle pause for a moment?
Yes.
And talk about Marco's shoes.
Oh, yes. Let us talk about Marco's shoes.
Can we do the Patti LaBelle?
Yes.
Just for a second.
Lil Marco.
Inject a little humor here.
Apparently, Trump has taken a fancy to Florsheim shoes for men. So,
it tells you just how old he is, right? Right?
Yeah.
If ever there was a speak to me boomer piece of attire,
Florsheim shoes.
It's the Florsheim shoe.
So he's been buying them for all the men in his circle, but he doesn't ask them what their sizes are. He just guesses. And he guessed too big on Marco. But Marco's still wearing them shoes it's like when a little kid goes in their mom's closet and gets her shoes and tries them on. That's what it looks like.
But it's like he's afraid.
Yes.
To not wear them.
Right. So what does that say?
What is that about?
I mean, if I were him, I would get my own set of shoes and switch them out to where, if it's, if I don't wear these shoes, I'm going to get fired. Then go get a pair that fits, man.
But actually, they don't even look like they're brand new Florsheim shoes. They look like they were used by the Donald.
Oh.
Don't you think? They look really old and worn out.
I didn't look at the shoes as closely as I did at the foot not fitting in the shoes. So I'm going to have to go back and look at that. Let's talk to Sierra in St. Petersburg. Hi, Sierra.
Good morning, Surly Voices. It's always good to hear you speaking the truth.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I am so grateful for y'all. I am calling this morning because I have a family who is mostly white Christian nationalism / Zionism on one side and then Jewish Zionism on the other side. So every single day, my family is praying for me because they're afraid that I'm going to be lost in this holy war. They literally are calling this a holy war. Are we going back to the Dark Ages? What is happening? I am so confused at how brainwashed and cult-like this MAGA movement and the Project 2025 movement and all of this nonsense, they are so brainwashed that they are purging the earth from people who don't believe in Jesus, which I just don't understand. I don't understand this anymore. Please help me understand how I can speak to the other side in some kind of way or fashion where they don't think I'm going straight to hell.
I don't know that you can, Sierra.
That's the saddest part.
Yeah, if they're that entrenched in it. I mean, I have my share of family members who are MAGA folk, and I just rarely talk to them. You know, I might see them when I go back to my hometown, but I don't keep in contact with them. I surely don't have them on my Facebook because they do not hesitate to come in and make the MAGA comments. And I'm like, no. You're not coming on my page and doing that. So
correct.
So yeah, I don't know that you can, talk to them if they're that firmly entrenched. Maria, you're much more diplomatic than I am.
Oh, I'm not. Oh, honey. Not me. So here's the thing about the thing about it, and I have friends that are Jewish, and I've met there's a whole group of friends I have that are Jewish that I met while we had a gym at the JCC here, right? And there were a couple of them that just love the idea of Christian nationalism, Zionism, right? And I never understood that. And I tried to explain to them that you are making a pact with the devil for mutual assured destruction. Because it's not like these Christian nationalists want to see a thriving Israel. They want Israel destroyed. Like, you might have like a couple good years there of Israel being Israel, right? But the goal of Christian nationalism is mutual assured destruction. The goal of Christian nationalism, and when it comes to Israel, is that they want Jesus to come back.
Well, look at Hegseth.
If you talk to what's his name? The guy who's our ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee.
Yes.
If you talk to him, that is the whole premise of Christian nationalism.
So
right?
We can all get raptured and go on up.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
It's all part of the Left Behind theory, right? So I just never really understood why a Jewish Zionist would agree to that kind of support, because that kind of support comes with a very heavy price. That price being, like I said, mutual assured destruction. Right. So you have what? Temporary allies that are going to lure you into this trap?
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
And I almost would, if I were you, Sierra, I'd almost drop that bomb, that little goodie at the dining room table and let them go at it and see what happens.
That's a great
Thank
idea.
you.
That's a great suggestion. I would totally do that. Yeah.
See what happens.
I will take your advice because it has made my brain hurt.
Well, report back to us after you do it, and let's see what they said. You'll be our focus group reporter in the field.
Yes, ma'am. I will be your surly voices in every way. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sierra.
Take care, y'all.
Bye-bye. Okay, so Lil Marco has some big shoes to fill. Thank you, Tom.
I think little Marco has become Trump's heir apparent.
They gonna skip over the couch lover?
100%. 100%.
You may be right. Let's see. Love the Lil Marco shoe story. Of course he's wearing them like his job depends on it, because it does. He and all of them are only in the positions because of their loyalty, which is enabled by them being incompetent sellouts. Shame on all of them. Charles in Tampa. Thank you, Charles. So little Mark, and so I wonder what little Marco is going to. Is he going to carry on the Project 2025 experience, or do we have a whole other set of horrors coming our way?
I don't know. I think that, I almost think that the Project 2025 horrors are a distraction for what Marco really wants to do. Because Marco is a hawk on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he cares at all. I think he just wants to go after world domination, if you will, air quotes, and have us get all messed up in a bunch of different places all over the world.
Ah,
right?
Yeah. Okay. Love the show, Surly's. As always, Trump has got to go. I'm heading to Canada, then Portugal. Just can't stand this country anymore. Ted and Elfers. Oh, Ted. Well, you can stream us from Portugal, and that will work. All right. Let's see. This is from, it doesn't say who it's from, KC. Thank you, Surly's, for always speaking your mind. Going back to freedom of speech, we really need to make sure our reps know that we oppose House Bill 945 and Senate Bill 1712. Florida Department of Law Enforcement shouldn't have the authority to surveil people or organizations just based on their opinions.
That's right.
Yep. The language used in the bill is frightening at the power this would give FDLE to determine who is a threat. A person who demonstrated actions, views, or opinions that are a threat or to the interest of are against the interests of this state and the United States of America. We shouldn't be afraid to speak our minds and should not be suppressed into silence. Speak out now before it's too late. Amen. Yes. For those of you who aren't watching what's going through the State House, that's something you need to pay your attention to as well, because the threat is not only nationwide, it's especially here in Florida. Let's talk to Joe in Venice. Hi, Joe.
Hello, ladies. Love your show as always.
Thank you, Joe.
Maybe a way to get at a few of the Trumpers is just put down a question in front of everybody. Would you trust Donald Trump alone in his house with your daughter for a day?
These people don't. His diehard folks don't really care because.
Well, if they have to say yes in front of their daughters.
Oh.
That's anyway, just an idea.
I see where you went. Yeah, that's interesting. Thanks so much for calling, Joe.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. All right, we'll talk to Jeanette in Clearwater now. Hi, Jeanette.
Hi. I just want to say that I grew up being Jewish in a Jewish home, and I mean we weren't religious or anything, but to me it's like there's a big difference between conservative Jews and the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like the conservative Jewish people are for Israel no matter what these idiots are doing.
Right.
And I'm not happy with the way they're talking about Zionists now. They're all like putting us down because we care about Israel, and we see it a lot. The anti-Semitism a lot on social media. I see it a lot. It's not good, and the problem is that we don't. I mean, as a Jewish person, I do not support Netanyahu one bit, and I don't support Trump. I never have.
Right.
And so it's very hard to be Jewish and to be around people who think that they are trying to help Israel.
And by those people, you mean like the MAGAs?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
anybody who says that, Trump is doing a good job because he's helping Israel, it's just the same as Trump saying, I'm helping the Iranians by getting rid of the regime.
Right.
He's not getting rid of the regime. He's just replacing it with a different regime that's the same.
And Trump never does anything unless it benefits Trump.
Of course.
And especially
He doesn't
monetarily,
care.
yes.
He doesn't care if we have terrorism here on our soil.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't care that...
And, I don't even think Netanyahu cares that his people are getting bombed.
Nope.
He doesn't
So
care.
I think that people are totally brainwashed when it comes to their motives.
Mm-hmm.
They
Right.
They don't really get what's really going on at all. They're not listening to the news. They're just saying, "Oh, he cares about Israel because his son-in-law is Jewish."
Right. Exactly. Well, thank you.
It's,
Yeah. Oh,
I really don't feel like I fit into any mold anymore.
right.
As
Well-
far as living here in Florida and being, I don't get along with most people because I don't agree with any of them.
Yeah. So time to make new friends, unfortunately, Jeanette.
Or just not have any.
Or just not have any. Yeah. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. So, yeah. And, yeah, Trump is in it for Trump. Trump's always been... There's no telling how much money that man has made being president, which is not an office where you should be allowed to accumulate wealth. And it's more wealth than he's ever seen because he's lived on the verge of bankruptcy and pretended to be wealthy for the longest time. So I don't know what it will take to change some folks' mind, and some folks you won't be able to because they're totally invested and they don't think they can go back now, and that's all there is to it. So I don't think he's going to totally be without support because there's always that Kool-Aid drinking faction that's going to be like, yeah, no, everything he does is great. What are you talking about? What do you think, Maria? Is there any way to divest these people of their illusions about Trump?
No.
Yeah.
They're in a cult.
Mm-hmm.
They're in a cult.
That's exactly.
They are absolutely in a cult.
Yeah.
And there's no, first of all, like we have to go back. The one thing that I will say we have to go back to those days about is we have to go back to the days when this kind of behavior was not socially acceptable.
Yes. Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
We have to go back to those days, right? Where, I have friends that we talk about this all the time. We joke about it a lot that, Trump has Secret Service. You do not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I do think that we have to go back to the days where it is just not socially acceptable for this kind of behavior to be tolerated.
I think.
Right.
Yes. I'm not usually one for decorum, but yes, in this case, we need to have a baseline socially acceptable level of.
We just have we literally have to collectively decide to shun them.
Yeah.
It's like there is this collective temper tantrum from a bunch of like intellectually unsophisticated people,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they are loud and wrong and screaming and all this other stuff, and we've allowed them to suck up all the oxygen in the room.
Right. Time to take the air back.
Time to take the air out of their bag, quite frankly.
Right.
And make it no longer acceptable. We shouldn't have to tolerate it. at all.
Yep.
Right. And, unfortunately, we are breeding a whole new generation that think this is okay. Look, I don't know if you saw the news on the FIU TPUSA president who was in a chat with the secretary of the GOP in Miami-Dade using a lot of racist language.
Oh, I did see about that. Yes.
Yeah. He stepped down from TPUSA, but I can assure you, like with all of the campuses that I work with, all of the student groups that I work with, that is who this TPUSA is.
Mm-hmm.
That is who they are. And as long as we continue to tolerate this kind of behavior, we are in trouble.
Right. I agree 100%. Let's talk to Connie in Tampa, and Connie will be our last call because we're getting toward the end. Hi, Connie.
Oh, hello. Thank you for taking my call. I just want to say this. When I looked at the president's last press conference, I could have sworn it almost looked like a Klan rally.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That as he talked about the killing and the bombing and taking people out and the people just applauding, it just speaks to, for me as an African woman, where black people have had to jump twice as high, be twice as good, always trying to win the approval of this establishment. And to see this establishment now has gone to its most rottenest pit, the only thing that can save this republic is that white people is going to have to stand up and massively push back.
100%.
Yep.
You're going to have to run over your neighbors. You're going to have to say, for the good of the future generation, we cannot tolerate this type of behavior. Because I know for a fact, if this was President Obama, we would have had every congressional black person in Congress condemning his conduct.
Yes.
Along with all the white people would have been so ashamed of him representing them. So this is not something that we can solve as African people, because we've seen this behavior before and trying to save ourselves from lynching and all the discrimination and brutality that we've gone through. The call now and the ball now is in the court of white people, and I would say in particular of white women.
Yes.
Because women nurture and build whole communities. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Thank
calling,
you, Connie.
Connie. And man, that's an awesome way to wind us up. So, white people, it's time to make your voices heard, because it's not going to get any better anytime soon.
And do the right thing.
And do the right thing. And yeah, I have to agree with her. It does look like a Klan rally whenever they get together. So Frank is winding up, and I can see him raising his hand to give me the finger. So it's time to go. Thank you so much for listening to Surly Voices on WMNF Tampa 88.5. Please join us again next week for more discourse and discord.
I like diamonds, I like stunning, I like shining, I like $1 million deals. Where's my pen? Bitch, I'm signing. I like those Balenciagas, the ones that look like socks. I like going to the Tula, I put rocks all in my watch. I like texts from my exes when they want a second chance. I like proving wrong, I do what they say I can't. They call me Cardi, banging body, spicy mommy, hot tamale, hotter than a Somali. Bird, go, Rari, hop up the scoop, jump in the coop, big dip on top of the roof, flexing them as hard as I can, eating halal, driving a lamb, so that bitch, I'm sorry though, got my coins like Mario, yeah, they call me Cardi B, I run this like cardio, Diamond District in